Good morning, St. Francis, and good morning, people of God. It is Thursday, the 23rd of December, 2021, Thursday of the fourth and final week of Advent. It is 2 days, as if you don't know that already, 2 days until Christmas Day. Taking a little stroll through the campus this morning, it is rather quiet. There are some people who are still at work today. Christmas break technically begins tomorrow, according to diocesan guidelines. And so there are still some people who need to fulfill some last-minute things before we can all move into the holiday, which will again last until January the 9th. Last until January the 9th. There are more days of Christmas in January always than there are in December. Today's O Antiphon is the final O Antiphon. It is O Emmanuel, which is appropriate. Again, the calling upon God to be with us, the recognition that God says that God will be with us always, in a bond, in a unity, in a covenant, in a relationship that nothing could ever undone, that nothing can ever eliminate, that nothing can ever destroy, because it is of God's doing. And so this final antiphon of O Emmanuel that will be said at evening prayer. You would think that the final antiphon probably would be on Christmas Eve, but Christmas Eve again moves into celebration of the Lord's Nativity, so there is no more proclamation of the Lord being born. He is born, and so the antiphons for evening prayer on Christmas Eve will be about the promise being fulfilled and Christ becoming born, one like us. So today's readings, however, as we move into receiving all of this, because again, this great season of receiving, this great season of reception, we have a very strange first reading, again from Malachi, having departed from Isaiah all this week, basically, or most of this week, basically, because, again, the seriousness of what it is that God is doing needs to be impressed upon us, that this is not just the birth of a small child, a little baby to coo and to cuddle in a manger or wherever. This is about the Savior being born, and so there's a great seriousness that has to be attached to this, of course. And Malachi is perhaps the one who expresses that seriousness in a very dramatic, powerful way. Because in today's readings, again, the coming of the day of the Lord, a great and terrible day, something that kind of seems to bring foreboding and fear, with it. Something about God basically saying when God decides to come and to fill the temple with his presence, are we going to be able to withstand that presence, stand before that presence, or will fear and all of the doubts inside of us prevent us from receiving this? Again, this is not just this is not just a playful holiday. This is not just a simple walk in the park. It is not just some kind of a frivolous encounter with God. This is the turning point of human history, which will then turn in even greater ways with the resurrection of Christ from the dead. And so the seriousness that needs to be attached to that. So with all this foreboding also that Malachi does, he also speaks of the wonder of what this of what the birth of the coming of this Messiah, the coming of the Savior will bring to us. And that is the whole idea of fathers, again, turning to their sons and sons turning to their fathers. Now, again, the Old Testament is highly patriarchal in its way, so it just doesn't mean the male sides of families, but all family, female and male, mothers turning to daughters, daughters turning to mothers, daughters turning to fathers, etc., etc. It is no longer this sense of separation. It's no longer this sense of fear. There's no longer this sense of blind obedience that can lead to so much harm and hurt. That this is a coming of the Savior that will open up families to the true understanding of what it means to be family, through struggling through the challenges and the wonders, through struggle through the disappointments and the joys of what it means to be together. And this is not just together for natural families, but all of us as the human family, all of us who work and live together. So connected with this then is the continuation again in Luke of now the birth of the Baptist, and the wonder that is presented when it is in fact Elizabeth who names the child when it should have been Zachariah only, and again a name that is unknown or unheard of among the family members, again raising questions as to what it is that this child will become, and Zachariah's mouth finally being opened because his doubts as whether or not Elizabeth could have the child in her advanced age are now released because she has and the child is going to become now the one who begins to bring God's promise in Malachi, in Zephaniah, in Zechariah, in the prophet Zechariah, in Isaiah, in Jeremiah even, brings all of that to fulfillment. That this child of wonder, this child of amazement, this child who now brings the hope of God's dream to its very threshold, then imitating the threshold that is Mary, her saying again yes to all of this, allowing the Savior to be born, allowing the Savior to come into this world. All of this serious business that God is undertaking to transfer the course of human history onto something that brings life and not death, something that offers hope and not despair, something that offers truth instead of all lies. We are on the threshold of receiving that once again, and may the Lord give you his peace.